During the COVID, my brother decided to use the time to write his autobiography. And it turned out to be a very interesting volume, all in Welsh, of course, but it told all that he had done and the avenues of its pursuit, where he has had an interesting life. And people were saying, you want to do the same thing. And I thought, it's already there. The poetic diary is there. It's just a question of getting it together. So that's what led to getting it together. But with regard to the writing of one's life, it happens to us all, even though we don't necessarily put it into print, for we are writing each day as it goes on the chronicle of history, and it is written in indelible ink. Each day is stamped forever as we write it right now. And so is life itself. We come but once on this track. Unfortunately, someone got it right in saying youth is a blunder. Middle age is a slog. Old age is a regret. It sums up all that happens to a large proportion of humanity. And they ask, where did that all go? When one is young, one thinks one has plenty of time. Then suddenly one finds it's starting to move more quickly. And then one realizes that there isn't much time left. And then one looks back. And then precisely, and only then, we ask ourselves, could I have done better on this track? For I only had one chance. The saints, of course, didn't live in that mode. They maximalized the moment. And that's what we need to learn to do, lest we fall into the trap of a blunder, a slog, and a regret. Once, and once only, will come this day, unique in all eternity. I will consecrate it to the full. So I picked up the book, read it, and I was quite fascinated. The passage of time. Autobiography. What is a life upon the universe? A moment that did come and went away, as quickly to the womb as to the hearse that clapped our longest sigh. What is a day or two of history writ? Eternity of dawns and dusks reread forevermore, where memory lives on. What do we see when on the aeons long we bolt the door? Beyond the veil, when all is now well sealed, how shall the seconds seem that second times may never have again? When all revealed, is yesterday's great score. What shiver climbs the soul's thin skeleton spine? And is a book a full trajectory of the hours it took? Yesterday I was reading the grave inscriptions on the crosses of the priests buried here in the village. Time does pass. In Ireland, a parish priest is buried in the cemetery with his people, but with this difference that he looks at them, and so the headstone is in the other direction, at the end of the cemetery, and his flock looks towards him, even in the tomb. He must, like a good pilot, get them safely to a good landing. Some years ago, when in a moment of difficulty, I appreciated the family more than ever. And I realized what a blessing it was to have a good, wise, and genuinely helpful brother. And I wrote these in gratitude, appreciating what it was to be born into a safe and warm nest. It does help on this journey through life. And sometimes, if there are dynamics in a community which are not always as peaceful as they might be, one appreciates what it is to actually belong to a family. For normally a community must become the family, but sometimes things can go wrong. It is important to bear in mind that it is on charity that we will be judged at the end of the day. One cannot create an ideal which makes abstraction of the new commandment. It has no sense. Love is what draws, and that is the first advert in any vocation's drive. Utter goodness. A brother is another one of us, of membranes like and chromosomes well known. For I perceive that to be counted thus is given to none, but unto such that own a part of what they are, neath features theirs, neath sounds and sayings fond, that are the all of what they ever knew. For brother bears the weight of little brother ever small, and there are days that show where home still lies, cross continents unlike, and there are hours that tell of bondings known where childhood dies, not as the morn that bore it. There are powers of goodness, hid where no high technic art of godliness bid goodliness depart.